everybody. Welcome to CozyCon. I guess I'm the first panel of the day after opening ceremonies. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all have either some coffee or some water or some tea handy. This morning we're going to be drawing some animals. The title card lies. No cloth figures until later today. But we'll be doing some animals this morning. It's going to be a little bit less of a how to gesture draw, more like we're just going to do it. But first off, I am Sixel. I also have a channel called SmileyBeaks. I do commissions. I like doing gesture drawing. I am an artist by trade. I do work in the animation industry, but I really like gesture drawing for fun and with others, so this is a great excuse to all get together. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I downed like 2 cups of coffee this morning, and I will try not to let it affect me. But good morning. Alright, let's see. First things first. I was going to run through Line of Action's little tutorial that they have for gesture drawing in case any of you are new to it. So, what is gesture drawing first off? We will be starting with Line of Action, is a website we use for, it kind of cycles through photos that we can use to practice our drawing. So for gesture drawing, we often start, okay, first off, preface, there's no wrong way to do this, but a popular way to start with gesture drawing is to start with a line of action. And by line of action, you can see on the page, it is often the spine line or where gravity is kind of being carried, weight is being carried. Quick example would be, we have a little sloth on here. Wait, let me go to our live view. So for line of action, this is a popular method. You can also do whatever you feel like for when you're drawing your animals. But for me, I often like to start with a spine, a rib cage, a pelvis, and then a head. This is just kind of the most basic structure. You're kind of like a little skeleton, and then you can kind of work on your shapes from there. Don't worry, we won't spend too long on the how-tos. We'll get started right away. But yeah, if that gives a good indication. Back to our main view. So that's what a line of action is. I often get asked, so figured that'd be good to cover for the starts. So doing a general structure like that can kind of help with your form in general. Takes out a lot of guesswork for later. So you start with your head, your rib cage, your hips. This is for people, but it also counts for animals too. Yeah, that's the barest bones. That's the barest bones of gesture drawing. So I figure the best way to begin is by starting, and the best way to start is by starting. So let us jump right in. So we're going to be doing all mammals. I think we're going to leave out insects today because I know some people are a little afraid. But we are doing reptiles, aquatic animals, primates. I'm going to include skeletons unless anyone is afraid of skeletons and would prefer me not to do them. But let me remind you, we all have a little skeleton inside of us. Unless you are an invertebrate. Alright. We're doing class mode today. And what that means is we're going to be doing 30 minutes of drawing, 10 poses, 30 seconds each, 5 poses at 1 minute each, 2 poses at 5 minutes each, and 1 pose at 10 minutes. After this, we will be looking through all the gestures at the end. Please feel free to partake at home if you're a part of the Discord. Please, please, if you partake, it would mean the world to me to see all of your drawings. There are no such thing as bad drawings for gesture. Do not feel intimidated. Everyone starts somewhere, and even people who are seasoned pros will find that their 30-second drawings are very chicken scratch, and that's okay. There is absolutely no bad drawings here. So we're doing that for 30 minutes. Alright. Oh, and discussing a quick thing about tools. You can use whatever you want. If that's digital, you can use any program. I think any art program works fine. You can use Sci, you can use Clip Studio. I often use like Flash or Photoshop as mine. I know Adobe's not the best, but you can use whatever digital program. If you're doing traditional sketchbook, you can use Paint. Heck, anything that makes a mark works. Whatever you're most comfortable with, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can always do something, step outside your comfort zone. Maybe you're gonna do marker today. Maybe you're gonna forego the ability to erase. Sometimes that is a fun challenge. It can feel frustrating, but the more you get outside of your comfort zone, the more often you can adapt quicker to new tools without feeling like you're relying on them. Yeah, anyway, so I hope you all have your tools ready. And I'm just looking over at the chat. Alright, well, I think without further ado, we'll just get started. We have until, I believe, 9, so we'll have time to go through stuff at the end, or if we want to do some more drawings at the end, we totally can. But yeah, I'm going to count us down. Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Get my... There's 2 hippos. Oh no. At this stage, at the 30-second stage, I'm probably not going to get very much in here. But that's okay. There's some water. Oh, and that's it for that one. Ooh, a lovely tiger. These are just warm-ups, so don't worry about getting everything in there. I usually consider it a success if I can kind of roughly map out some limbs. But some people like to go very shape-focused, and they don't do the structure, and that's totally valid. Whatever way works for you and keeps you drawn. Success is really just whatever you determine it to be, right? So if your version of success for these drawings just is getting 1 mark down, I think that's fair. So like, for me, if I can get the line of action, if I can get the rib, I'm usually pretty happy in these 30-second ones. Everything else is extra. Oh, what is this leg doing up here? There is no wrong way. It's a good time to kind of like adjust that, get that eye kind of looking and trying to figure out where things are. Because our eyes can sometimes, I don't want to say lie, but they shortcut a little bit to try and make sense of what we're looking at. And training that eye is half, I feel like half the battle. Now for any of you using traditional, you might actually find that you draw very small on the page, and any of you using digital might find you draw very big on the page. And I find this is a little bit of a tendency I found with my own work too. When I was in school and I was always doing traditional for this kind of thing, I always drew really small and they were always like, draw bigger, you gotta draw bigger. And then as I moved to digital and I had the ability to scale, I always started so big. Oh, giraffes. Okay. So some of you who might have come to these before know that I'm still learning how to do hooved creatures. They have such an interesting shape. I kind of hope one day I would love to see a giraffe-like skeleton. Just to try and figure them out a bit more. Alrighty. Of course we're getting more. Can do it. Can handle it. Also, I think they kind of have like a longer pelvis. From what I remember, like hoofed animals kind of have like an elongated shape for that. Oop, that's it. Sometimes when I'm looking at where things are, I also look at where the head is in relation to the rib cage. So in this case, the head is very much overlapping the ribs, and that can help me place things. Oh, we're into the 1-minute poses. That's exciting. I'm gonna focus on, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go for that screen left guy. He's cute. So we got ribs, pelvis, it's kind of fun doing these in black because I only usually use black ink for when I'm doing gestures on stream. It feels very somehow permanent looking. 17 seconds. This is like the arm, rib, pelvis. Oh, a little dog. See, I try to do the rib to start. I'll start trying to do the ribs, map those out first, because I always tend to draw the head circle very big, and then I have nowhere to go. And of course I can't see the skeleton, so I'm just kind of making best guesses on where things would be on this little dog. So fluffy. Might be more shape time. Eight seconds. Oh, squirrel. I've been seeing these guys in the yard a lot lately. I actually think they're pretty cute. Going very shape because I like the shape. 18 seconds. They're very cute. Oh, look at this kitty. Here comes the kitty. Hello, kitty. I like trying to figure out what their legs are doing. I think I've drawn these legs way too long. I go back a few. It's usually better to just keep going and commit, but sometimes I can't help it. 20 seconds. Oh, see, that's why. That's why it would have been good to commit. Oh well. I was too busy appreciating this cute cat. The cat does own the block, Vanilla, you're correct. I like thinking about the flow of a pose. I think with animals I'm a little bit more I go a little more shape than I might for people, just because I'm not always thinking as much of the anatomy when I'm doing animals, just because I find it's kind of more appealing. I could probably take that into drawing people and probably have more appealing drawings people, but I think I have more experience drawing animals, so maybe that's why. 3 seconds. Oh, can't even really usually tell what I'm drawing at this stage until we get to, oh, here we go, 5 minutes on this one. Look at this majestic creature. I love the vibe here. You can kind of see this curled hoof part right here, leg. And I'm assuming there's a leg in here, but also some fantastic. I'm not really going to work on details so much yet as try to just figure out where things are. So I think we got a little hoof right here. And another one coming out a little bit further out. But there are lots of different strategies and methods for doing gestures and drawing in general. And I find everyone learns very differently. And that's okay if some method doesn't work for you. It's never a bad idea to look for something that suits you better. And if you ever find you're getting stuck, sometimes it's nice to go back and revisit those ways that maybe you didn't think worked the first time. Because sometimes you can find something that works about them for you. I think every way that I was told to do art when I was in high school, I rejected really soundly. And then some of them I came back to later and went, oh, okay, I can see why this works for some people. And maybe there's ways about it that I like, but everyone has their own way of learning and everyone has their own kind of style or what they are hoping to get out of art, right? And whenever you're learning a different approach, you can kind of just look at what they're trying to teach, or what their priorities are, and see if that works for you, sort of thing. Some artists are very focused on structure or flow or consistency, and some people want to draw more loosely, and both are legit. So find out what you like to draw, and kind of work from there. We got 1 minute and 40 seconds left on this one. I feel like I should figure out what's happening with this face here. Ooh, there's some guitar in this music. We're getting a little spicy for the morning. I feel like we can see this part. Oh yeah, sometimes when I'm looking at a shape, I won't quite figure out. I'll have to like look back and see like something is like a little further up. So in this example, the body goes, you can see like the body in relation to the head. The head is almost a little bit lower than I've drawn it. That's fine. This doesn't have to be photorealistic. Art is a language that we have to learn how to speak, and everyone speaks kind of their own dialect of it, right? Sometimes it's nice to try and draw very accurately what you're looking at, and sometimes it's just nicer to have a good drawing, right? Or a drawing that is appealing to you. So if you feel like your drawing doesn't look exactly like the thing you're drawing, that's okay. It doesn't have to. And if you're wanting to fix something about it or change something, you know, that's okay. You can work on figuring out what you don't like about it or what you want to change and make better. Next drawing. Ooh, where is this guy's ribs, do you think? Are they oriented like this? Because the pelvis is definitely like down here. It's not the most important thing to get accurate, but it can help me figure out a basis for everything else. Well, I think the head might be a little lower. He's got like a little acorn. I like how they have a little like, it reminds me of like pipe cleaners a little bit when you look at their tails and you realize that they're like see-through. Adjust some of my lines. It's gonna look very messy, but that's okay. Two minutes left. If we have extra time at the end, we may just draw sloth for, you know, Connor vibes. every time I have to kind of like draw an animal that I haven't drawn before or haven't drawn in a while that I'm maybe not as familiar with, I love to kind of do like a quick little shape study for them. I've usually had to do that every time I do CozyCon stuff. I'll just like pull up a sloth and be like, what is your deal again? All animals kind of have like unique shapes that make them very distinctly them. So sometimes I like think about like, for example, the squirrel. What makes the squirrel's head look so distinct? What kind of shape makes it so recognizable? And you can just lean into and push it. In this case, it's got like this big area here for the head. It's just this very, very distinct shape, right? I should probably focus on some other parts. We got 1:20 left. Also, if you find you're very fast at finishing the early parts of your like drawing, you can feel free to shade, add some value. That's actually really, really good for learning as well. I just often skip that part until I'm on the very last of the drawings. That's usually when I'll add value. It can teach you a lot about the shape. I know personally as myself, I'm not usually as interested in coloring or shading personally, but please do not let that stop you if you would like to do those things. I realized personally for myself, I'm more interested in doing usually the line work than I am in doing coloring or shading. So I kind of lean into those things. Ooh. So this is our 10-minute pose. So take a second, really think about where this guy's spine is. Draw the head. Megalamandarin says the leg of the squirrel is giving them some trouble. Oh yeah, that's fair. I find legs and hands can be definitely a tripping point. But the nice thing about gesture drawing and such is if you ever have an area of your drawing that you want to work on or want to improve at, practice really helps. And not just like trying to get good at it all at once. So some days if I want to practice, say like I've done like wanted to get better at like deer or horses, and I'll just like spend some time learning the skeleton. And even if I don't feel like I've improved much that day, if I come back to it the next day, it's actually easier because I got that muscle memory. It took me a very long time. I think like basically until I was adult to learn how to study, and I still find it a little hard, and I'm always still a little shocked when I do practice and it helps. So I think this one doesn't actually have, like, I can't tell if those are hoofs. I think it has, like, little clawed feet. But it kind of has that... I think this must be the heel. Oh, sorry, you probably can't see that well, but... Just trying to figure out what that foot looks like. I don't know what type of animal this is, but if anyone knows who's watching, let us know in the chat. Alright, I've definitely, for myself, want to focus on the shape that this is. I try and do a mix of drawing what I'm seeing versus drawing what I think I know is happening. And I find that can be a good mix, because I don't really want to try and only focus on what's happening. I want to also try and push what I know, or like the shapes that I find appealing. We got 5 minutes left. I'm probably gonna have to do some shading on here. Looks almost like a big rabbit. Maybe it is a big rabbit? I don't know. Oh, square cappy? That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like a... I was like, it's more of like a rodent than like a... anything that has like equine looks. Moment, I'm gonna move this drawing down just a smidgen. Give myself a little more room. I like the shape of the ear. I think it might have some little whiskers. I think I see some indication. I'm gonna go ahead and actually... maybe I won't fully erase, but I'll erase partially my... because we have 3 whole minutes left. I'm gonna partially erase some of my guidelines and do some shading on here. I'll just fully erase, actually. It'll be fine. They're my construction lines, so I don't need to keep them all the way to the end. Oh, I actually haven't finished drawing the front foot. Ah! Look at me getting ahead of myself. Got like curve, curve, flat, flat. And then like that. And there's another foot right here, which I feel like is kind of turned. Ooh. I think I've drawn this one a little too thick. It's okay, we got time. Got 2 whole minutes. 2.5 minutes, correction. And see, another thing could be good is to think about your perspective, and when you're looking at the figure, I can see that this leg is actually further away. So it's almost like this figure is a little bit like, it's almost like they twisted around at one point. It's a little further away. I feel like this part can come up a little bit higher. I use those construction lines mostly to just think about where things might be underneath. I feel like I made the bottom half very long. Oh, I only have a minute left to shade? Let's go very fast then. Oh yeah, I want to do value, not so much the shading. But I think this might just be... I like to just kind of block stuff in. On where the lighting might be hitting. You can go as complicated or as basic with your shading as you like. There are no rules here. And we're done! That was it. Congratulations if you've been drawing along. We finished our class mode. I think we still have another 20 minutes left. I'm just gonna really quickly pull up, let me see, one moment. If you've been drawing along, please share if you did. And the, I think we have, wait, did we have our own panel room or was it just in the creative share? Yeah, we have events in the Discord panels. Could maybe just put it in there. He clicked okay, like, yeah, a little pop-up. Definitely throws some people. But yeah, if anyone was drawing along, please feel free to do that while everyone is sharing those. I know Tamron said they were drawing along. I'm gonna really quickly, just while do this, one moment. I'm going to just really quickly resize all my little drawings so I can put them on a page. Oh, one second. Oh, there we go. I actually don't use Photoshop a lot except for this kind of thing, and I always forget all the hotkeys. I always have to be careful because transform tool in my usual program, Flash, is I think a quick mask in here, and I don't want to do that one. You can see my quick ones are very, very quick. Usually I'm not focused on getting more than the skeleton down. I love the squirrel shapes. They're so good. They just have like a certain, like you can just feel their action, like the flow of their pose very strongly. It's fun looking back to, Even if I feel like some of these might be like very quick or very not like, I'm not looking at these going like, these are all like art. It's like, oh, I remember what that pose is. I remember what that was just from these quick little scratches I got. It kind of helps cement it in my brain. Which is cool, because like, if I ever go out in the wild and go to like a zoo or something, or see animals in the wild, you can get a little gesture down for them, and you can come back to them later. The method I'm using, where you just like kind of sketch in the ribcage, pelvis, and that, I initially learned from an animator actually, because this is how they would really quickly convey the kind of like action and pose if they're doing studies. And the way they did it was more actually to show the tilt of the pelvis as well, and that helped in that they could just come back to those quick gestures, and they could probably even just work from them because they remembered, you know, gave them all of that information that they really needed for the pose. Do we have more room in here? Yeah, we do. Alright, how we doing, everyone? Do we want to do some sloth drawings just to wind down after this, or do we gotta need to look over in the Discord? Is that everything? Wow, look how stick-like they get just towards the beginning. I can still tell that this is a horse, though, which is kind of incredible. Like, look at those legs. Yep, that was a horse. Can I fit all of them in? I just go smaller and smaller as they get very abstract. And you might not consider your really quick ones to be that interesting, or that, I'm not going to say that they're not good, but if you don't consider them good, just remember it is all learning. Alright, there's all of them. Let's see, can I get them all in without them looking blurry? Ah, it's as good as we can get. Oh well. Alright, I'm checking the Discord. Let's see. Did anyone have any they wanted to upload to the Discord panels channel? Oh, actually, Temrin put them in the gesture stream, in the creative share. Sorry, I probably should have called out where to put them earlier, but I will quickly. Oh, Temrin, these look so great. Good job. Oh, zoomed in. Oh, I like the giraffe. You started getting the head stuff in, the head details. That's so cool. Oh, I love the horse. I can tell. See, it's wonderful how you can just tell what the pose was just from these basic, and that, like, doing those quick drawings really helps you kind of boil down the essence of some of the shapes, right? That's so cool. Good job. Ooh, next page from Temrin. Oh, I love your squirrel. Oh my gosh, look at the shading on that last one, is so good. Great job. I love your interpretation. It's so good. Also, you nailed that little dog. That's so cute. Great job. Oh, Mandarin posted some too. I'm gonna quickly open those up. I love how, like, how quick you must have gotten these all down. Like, but you got the limbs in. That's great. Even some of, like, the action can really be felt in these poses. The flow is so good. How are we doing for time? We got 15 minutes, so... Oh, yeah. See, we got the giraffe. You got the proportions down, and you managed to fit a bunch in the page. I'm very impressed. Oh yeah, there's that dog pose. I love it. Oh, it's so good. One minute. Nice. Yeah, I recognize all of them. You got both of the hippos in there. Great work. I only tried one. I wasn't very brave. Oh, they're so cute. You got that boss cat. Oh, these are so good. I love it. The squirrel looks so good. I mean, everything looks good. So impressed by the squirrel too. I love the shading you used on our, what is it called again? The last one, the 10-minute one. It looks so good. Great work. Oh, you haven't heard of gesture drawing until today? Well, you did amazing. Great work. Oh my gosh. Okay, who is this from again? This was from Pea Head. I like it. Pea as in the vegetable. P-E-A. These are so good. I love how much energy you put into these. I have the feeling that your pencil was moving the whole time, and that is so good. Conveys a lot of like energy, and you get a lot of like feeling in those poses. Great work. Oh, got a bit from Little Rats. Let me open up some of these. Oh, I like this is like pen. It's so good. Drawing with pen is definitely another level of challenge. You have to commit, and I respect that you committed. I like it. I love the energy of these. I love how, like, the shapes you use get those shapes across really. Like, the shapes you use got the shape of the animal across real well. Oh, look at that horse. I love that. Oh, and you even did some, like, shading on the legs, too, to, like, help you differentiate between the overlay and the underlay. That's so good. Oh, look at that cat. I love its expression. Oh, and the cheetah looks great. Good job on that squirrel. And yes, I will just go through these as long as I can, because, oh, they look so good. I love seeing everyone's interpretation of the same drawings, or, like, the same photo. Because everyone's gonna do it a bit different. You included the shadow on here? Like, the cast shadow? That's so cool. It feels very, like, composition. So good. And that squirrel, so cute. I like that you drew, like, the bound of the picture, too, and the branch. Ooh, I like it. You got that shape down real good. And the shading looks lovely. And our last one posted is from SmileyBeaks. I really, really, really like these. I love like, I don't want to say stick figure, but like, yeah, you got the ribs, you got the head, and then you got the limbs in. And these are very appealing to me, at least. I like them. I like them so much. They just look very like confident, and you just like got them down, and they're so good. Ooh, let me go to the next one. Ooh, I like that we got a little bit of color in there. Got some different lines, different marks now. That's so good. I especially like the face and the eye looks so good. Like, you really captured the expression and the mood of this one. Oh, and we have our squirrel. I like it. It's good. The tail has real fun marks. You instantly look at this and you're like, I know that this is a squirrel. Very good. Very cool. Everyone, you did such a good job. You should all... I'm gonna one more time trigger the... Great work, everybody. Great work. We'll be doing some more gesture drawing a little bit later. Oh, I zoomed in on that. And next time we'll be doing... Actually, we'll be doing clothes models. Let me double check the time on that one. Got at 10 minutes, so we can still wind down with some sloths. Uno momento. Just really quickly pulling up the schedule. Alright, that's gonna be at 3 p.m. Central Time, which I believe would put that at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 3 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, we'll be doing clothes figures. And I'll walk through also, like, do the walkthrough of, like, the rib cage and the spine, and we could talk about more, like, line of action and more gesture drawing stuff. And we'll all draw it together. It'll be lots of fun. Oh yes, thank you to everyone for posting the schedule in there. Yeah, I think we have a few minutes in between stuff. How about we draw a sloth for just a few minutes, and then we'll give Vanilla a little break. How about? I'm going to really quickly group all my drawings together. Group. I want to draw the sloth. Or wait, can I pull it up on? I had found a picture of a sloth on here. Can I make it bigger? Maybe. Fun facts about sloths was the website I had for this picture. Shall we just just draw a sloth for just a few minutes? My freak is drawing paddles, Vanilla says. Aw, fair. Well, I'm gonna draw this sloth for a few minutes. And then we'll have a little break. And then I'm sure we'll do the next... I'm sure the next panel will be lots of fun too. Sloths have such a cool shape. They just look like little beans, right? Bean shape. Where are all of your organs, little dude? They have like this really interesting kind of like face shape, and then their nose is very like up here. They almost look like they have this permanent little smile almost. I think. Oh, I just realized I'm using a very light brush, and that might not be super visible to all y'all. I'm just going on shape vibes right now. We have like, this is like wrist. This is like elbow right here. I'm gonna give him a little satisfied looking smile. They almost look like they have like a little hairline, hey? I love it. Like upper leg, thigh, pelvis. How are we doing for time here? We got 4 minutes. I'll probably wrap like a few minutes early on this. Apologies, I muted for a moment there, just because there was some laundry happening in the next room. Ooh, actually, I could make this slightly longer, couldn't I? Yeah. If you ever feel like your drawing isn't working, I found a huge help for me has been just like, it's okay to just erase whole parts and start again. I used to feel very attached to what I had already drawn and be afraid that I couldn't reproduce it if I tried. Like, if I deleted it, I'd be like, oh no, what if I can't do it again as good? But you can often do it better than you did it the first time, or faster. It's like metaphor for letting go what doesn't serve you. Sometimes it's just better to ditch what isn't working. And sometimes if you're nervous about doing that, you can always do it on a lighter layer. Oh, well, let's just call it there for now. Thank you so much for everyone for watching and drawing. I hope to see some of you later for the clothes models drawing happening later today. But have a wonderful CozyCon. I hope you are all drinking water, taking stretches, and having fun. Thanks everyone. See you later.